cuties, and welcome to the TBR game time. TBR game time. It's time for March's TBR. And also talking about all the books that I read in February. Now this will be an incomplete list because I am filming this video 2 days before February is over. And I'm trying to squeeze in a couple other books, but as of right now, February 27th at like noon, this is where we're at. As of right now, I have almost completed 14 books. I say that because one book I'm reading, I have like 2 hours left of it on audiobook, okay? And then I have 2 graphic novels that I'm trying to complete before March begins. So by the time February is over, in theory, I will have completed 16 books. If not, just 14, because then I probably won't get to either of the graphic novels. So between 14 and 16 books is where February stands. There will be more info in the February vlog next week that you'll see. By those stats, I have either completed 4,605 pages or 5,251 pages. Could be either. But guaranteed I have read 78 hours or listened to 78 hours of audiobook because Vespertine is the last one that I have to get through. It has taken me on average about 3.76 days per book. Granted, that'll probably get a little skewed if I do finish the graphic novels in a day. But roughly 3 to 4 days per book. And roughly 3.96 star average rating. I had a pretty good month. Not great, not fantastic. I've had some really good reads, and I had a couple disappointments, but nothing like horrendously offensive like last month. Cool. So in total, I read 7 audiobooks as soon as Vespertine is finished, and I read 4 ebooks. That's right, I read ebooks this month. Holy crap. They were graphic novels from Hala, but they still count as ebooks. And then depending on how the rest of the month goes, I've either read 3 physical books or 5 physical books. I'm not doing hot with my physical reading. I just have so much else going on in my life that sitting down and reading a physical book is becoming more and more difficult, and I'm not a fan. And just as a fun stat, because I will later be talking about all the series that I'm in the middle of for another video if you guys want to see that, but I did read 3 solo books, and I completed / kind of continued, because the rest of the series is not out yet, 2 series. It's completed as far as I can go, basically. And we started 5 series. I need to stop starting series. But those are the stats. Let's quickly review the books that I read in no particular order because I just have them stacked here. We're gonna go with this one. Not If I See You First, which for this card, it was my disability rep. There's no fancy thing on it, but I did complete it. I did enjoy this. It took me a while to get into it because it does have an unlikable character as the protagonist, but I do like where the story ends up, all the different kind of things that we see for people who are blind, and she's blind for a very unique reason, so she's not like a lot of other blind people where they have like some vision. Her optic nerve was severed due to an accident, and so she is completely blind and is navigating the world this way, which has made her have to build some thick skin, make some rules, but also question whether those rules should be bent at times. And I was worried about how this main character's growth was going to happen, and she has a lot of trauma happening because her dad also has recently passed away and someone has come back into her life. She's still trying to navigate a romantic relationship and friendships as well, so it had a lot to say for a relatively short book despite how long it took me to get through it, but good book. Then we have the indie book of the month that we all picked, and that was Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. You guys can check out the full review of that. Hollet, I pre-filmed a review because she was going to be out of town. But we both loved this. It was super fun. It was super cute. You can just read it in the day, and it's like a big story, small book, but pacing excellent. Then we get to the first book that I read in the month, which was Iron Widow. This was also the book that I got spoiled on because I had to spin the wheel of punishment. We don't have to spin any wheel this time, but that was my LGBTQ plus book here for Iron Widow, and yes, guaranteed it is. I was thoroughly surprised by this, even with the spoiler. I kind of forgot the spoiler and thought it was somebody else that died, because that's the spoiler that Fee told me, is someone in this book dies. Not gonna say who to you guys. I was quite shocked by it, that twist of an ending, like unexpected stuff, but I definitely enjoyed this. Go check this out. Then we read a book that I have been trying to read forever, finally got to, and that is Fable by Adrian Young. This was my Another World plot. No fancy thing on that one. I thought it was going to be more pirates. It's more traders and seafaring stuff, which I did enjoy. I'm not sure if I really liked the audiobook so much because the voice actress for it felt kind of immature, or like the voice that she was portraying the character as. And while, yes, she is a teenage character, it felt a little immature for what everything she had gone through. But I did really like this story. I like some of, not the full plot twist because that was kind of predictable plot twist, but I do like the cast of characters that we get, although I would like to see a little bit more screen time or page time for a couple other characters that maybe we'll get in the sequel, because this is the beginning of a duology. Also, Iron Widow is the beginning of a duology as well. I think just a duology. And then Half a Soul is from a trilogy. These are the books that I started. I was supposed to finish this book in January and I didn't get to it, but it was a book box card, and that was We Hunt the Flame by Hassa Faisal, and I'm disappointed by this one. It just didn't grab me. There was nothing really wrong with it. It wasn't for me. I couldn't connect with the story. It got a little complicated, but even though I did start this series, I don't think I'll be finishing it. It just wasn't enough for me to continue, and yeah, more in the reading blog, but it just wasn't for me. We finished the series up to how far we can go. I thought this was going to be the complete series, and then Jen DeLuca went and announced a 4th book in the series, but that is well matched, and this is the 3rd book in the Renaissance Fair series. It's Well Met is the 1st book, Well Played is the 2nd book, and this is the 3rd one, and I thoroughly enjoy this because it deals with Mitch Malone, our boy, our himbo from the other books, and April, who is Emily's older sister, who also from the other books. So the books kind of are companion novels where they deal with different female protagonists in their group of friends. And that's why we're getting a 4th book, because we have Mitch's cousin who's going to star in the 4th book called Well Traveled, which I'm very excited about. I really enjoyed this. I really related to April quite a lot with her inner feelings of anxiety for social situations and feeling kind of outsider despite living in a place for a really long time. And I really liked their dynamic. I was weirded out because there is about a decade age gap, but because of the maturity of the characters and how the story plays out, I am okay with it. It's still a little weird for me, but they were so cute. I am okay with it. Next up, we have the classic of the month, and that was also the face on the cover card, and we read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Yay, a classic I didn't hate or was bored with. I love Oscar Wilde's writing style. I love the prose in it. It just really was kind of, while telling a story, it still had commentary on society. Now granted, there are problems in this book, okay? It is a product of its time, but for the storytelling aspect of it, I really enjoyed this. And it's not saying, like, some of the characters, I mean, the characters are extremely flawed. It's about a guy who basically sells his soul to stay young, and his picture ages. If you don't know Picture of Dorian Gray, that's what it's about. And the other characters in it are very, not morally gray, but they're a dark gray, a heather gray, if you will. Some of the way the commentary, like there is a Jewish character, a very minor Jewish character, but it is referred to as the Jew and not painted in a good light. So that part I was kind of like, oh, no thank you. It's also shown that these characters are not good people. So that's where it's like, okay, it's telling us this is not a good thing to say or do or act like. There is a lot of trigger warnings in this because crazy stuff be happening, but overall this was a very intriguing read. I'm really glad that I finally have read this, and I really love Oscar Wilde's commentary on America. More in the vlog. Then we have our sci-fi book that we picked, and that was The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. A lot of people have very mixed feelings about Joan He's writing, especially in this book. I don't know how people feel about Descendant of the Crane, but that has a very open ending, and so does this one. I think that might just be Joan He's writing style, where it's open-ended. The thing about this is it deals with a lot about climate change and a kind of dystopian futuristic world with the separation. There is unreliable narrators in this. There's a lot going on that takes a lot of brain power. And I think for some people who just want to go in and see a story about sisters trying to reunite, that's a very surface level reaction to this book. And so when it becomes something bigger and more complicated, people weren't prepared for that. And so that's why there's kind of mixed reviews. Now, I was like, it wasn't amazing groundbreaking work. Some of the things, the messages it was saying were fairly superficial, but also kind of escapist. I don't know, a little bit escapist, a little bit in the, we know this isn't possible, but it's fun to think that this could be a future for humanity kind of situation. But I enjoyed it pleasantly, so I can probably say I'm now a fan of Joan He and her writing, even if she keeps those endings open. Like, fine, I guess. Let me decide what happens in the end for myself, even though I like concrete canon things. Finally, we have The Truth Lies Here, which was my random word generator, which we chose truth. This was okay. Wasn't great. Probably not going to hang on to this. I do like what it does in the end, because the whole time you're reading this, it deals with a girl whose father is missing because he writes for like a tabloid about paranormal stuff, and she's very jaded by her father because he doesn't actually believe in any of the stuff, he just writes about it. So she was at a young age kind of like, well, he's lying to me now, so nothing is real. And so she wants to become a serious journalist, but she goes back to her hometown, and her dad's missing, other people are missing, burned bodies are showing up, weird crazy things are happening, and she starts questioning whether or not are the facts so black and white. And it takes a turn at the end that not a lot of mystery thrillers are brave enough to do, and so I give Lindsay Klingel props for going that direction, for going the zebra direction. And I applaud that. If you read the book, you'll understand what that means, but she went zebras, and I'm happy about that, because not everybody does. Most mystery thrillers that deal with the paranormal aspect go horse. And then the book that I'm currently reading right now and I'm almost done with is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson, and I am thoroughly enjoying this. I don't think I love it as much as Sorcery of Thorns, but I definitely am enjoying this. I can't say much more. I think Vespertine is a very unique high fantasy world that we're dealing with. Well, high fantasy world that we were dealing with, and I really, really enjoy it. Also, it's fucking gorgeous. I only have about 2 hours left of listening to it, so I'm gonna continue that after. And the ebooks that I read were all Hala's newly re-released manga, which are XYZ, and then the first three volumes of With a Cherry on Top. And they're cute, contemporary. XYZ is about some twin girls, one who's very girly, one who's very boyish, and their kind of struggles in their romantic life in high school and where it leads them. I would like to see a second volume of this because I want to see more growth with some of the characters. Well, all of the characters. I think there's more story to tell, but Hala has it as a standalone right now, which is fine. It's fine. Then With a Cherry on Top, it is a story very similar to like She's the Man with Amanda Bynes in it, and it's about a girl who wants to play soccer, so she disguises herself as a boy when she transfers to this new school, and shenanigans ensue. I like it because it has that feel of being both a shoujo and a shonen manga, where we have the shoujo aspect with the slight hint of romance happening, but also the sports anime kind of thing, sports manga storyline, and so it develops a bit more into less so out of She's the Man because it gives more stories to the rest of the teammates, which I appreciate. And I think this is still ongoing. It has the first 3 volumes out. We'll see if she writes more. The other 2 books that I'm trying to get to before the end of the month are Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer, which are Gone Rogue, which is the second book in their graphic novel for the Lunar Chronicles, and then Graceling by Kristen Cashore, which I've read the original novel, but this is now a graphic novel that I want to get through. I think I can get through these in a day, given time. Will I have time? I don't know, but this is what I'm hoping to read. We'll see. Whoa, bam. Okay, so I have completed a TBR, which means we roll the Wheel of Rewards. Hey! Hope everyone can see the Wheel of Rewards. We are going, it's gonna roll off. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. What did I get? Veto a punishment! So I got veto a punishment, so I get to hold on to that reward. I also still have reroll from last Wheel of Rewards, which is very nice to have just in case of dangerous situations. I'm only gonna hold on to the rewards for 1 month each, basically, so this is the month that I have the reroll, should I need it, and then I will only hold on to the veto a punishment should I need a punishment for next month. We'll see. Also, let's talk about the indie book of the month. We actually picked pretty much all ebooks for the 4 books that we possibly can read, and that was Beastly by Ginny Noble, Prophecy of Darkness by M. Lynn, Manon by, shoot, I forgot, but it's right here. And then 1 physical book, Wake of the Phoenix by Chelsea Harper. Now, last I checked, it was between Prophecy of Darkness and Beastly, so we'll see which one it actually ends up being. I think it's probably gonna be Beastly, but maybe I'll try to read both and do 2 ebooks. Oh my god. Who is she, right? I'll also try to put that on whatever TBR we get this month. So I think that covers everything right now. Let's roll to see how big my March TBR is gonna be. Let's see how many we get. Oh dear Lord, did I fucking really? 12? Shit. We have 12 books. Now granted, like, obviously with the last month I read that many books. I'm just really gonna hope for a lot of audiobooks or a lot of very short. This shelf right here, this small shelf, oh boy, am I gonna be picking a lot from you. Oh dear Lord. Here we go. Last we stood, we ended up on this little yellow book, baby, right there. Roll number 1 of 12. Roll number 1. What do we get? 6? We're gonna go up to 1. We're on the seasons right now. And 11. We rolled 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's time for a card. I've got the stack. I'm gonna go right here with this baby. Wah! TBR theft. So TBR theft means I need to pick a book on someone else's TBR. So I'm going to real quickly look at some of the other TBR videos that are out for March and see what we get. I have just looked at a few TBR videos on YouTube, and we're gonna go with Brianna from 4 Paws in a Book, I believe is the name. She used to be a different name, but now it's 4 Paws something, but it's Brianna, and she has chosen The Project, which I own, and this is also a signed edition. So Courtney Summers is the author of Sadie, which was a super popular book. I did enjoy, I don't want to say enjoyed, but like, it was an emotional read, and I have heard mixed reviews about The Project, but we'll see. It's not too big. How many? It's under 350, 338 pages for The Project, and this is about the Unity Project. After a tragic accident kills most of her family and leaves her little sister Lo on the brink of death, Bea Denham is desperate for a miracle. It arrives in the form of Lev Warren, the charismatic spiritual leader of the Unity Project. He promises he can save Lo. All Bea has to do is believe. Stole my sister. Lo awakes in the ICU to find her parents are dead and her sister has abandoned her for the Unity Project. The more Lo learns, the more she's convinced the beloved organization is hiding sinister secrets. If only she could make Bea believe. Murdered my son. Years later, when a man shows up at the magazine Lo works for claiming the Unity Project killed his son, Lo sees the perfect opportunity to expose the group and reunite Bea once and for all. But her investigation will put her in the direct path of Lev Warren, and he will make her question everything she thought was true and all that she believes. So it deals a bit with kind of a cult situation. I think we're probably going to have some dual timeline possibly in this, but we will see how we fare. Roll number 2 of 12. Wow. Roll a 6 again? Okay. Let's go to 4. I'm feeling 4. We're on shelf 4. We're on this little blue book. Wow. And 12. These dice are mocking me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right at the beginning. Oh no, right here. Qua. Woo! Middle Eastern, and it has a special token on it. Looking at the shelves for a Middle Eastern book. Oh, let's see. Anybody here? You are not. So none of that. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. We might go with this baby. This is a new release. So we have The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It's a high fantasy, but it's inspired, I believe, by like India. Like we have very Indian names. So, oh, it's signed. I didn't even realize it. Welcome to Ashoka, a land of crumbling ruins, secret societies, and ancient mysteries lurking around every corner. Hope you enjoy your stage, and remember, you get to make your own destiny. Hey, I say that in my books, when I sign books. Let's take a little closer look, but I think this will work for Middle Eastern kind of storyline. Vita is desperate to establish her legacy as a revered Maharani of Ashoka, but the country's only quarry running out of magic, a precious resource that has kept Ashoka safe from conflict for centuries. She can no longer protect her citizens from the looming threat of war. Vira's only hope is to find a mysterious artifact of legend, the Ivory Key, but in order to retrieve it, she must reunite with her estranged siblings, who have taken very different paths. Vira, Ronak, Caleb, and runaway Rhea each have something to gain from finding the Ivory Key, and even more to lose if they fail. But with each sibling harboring secrets, the very thing that brought them together could tear them apart, their family and their world for good. This was an Illumicrate exclusive edition. It's got sprayed edges and it's very shiny. I'm gonna say, yeah, that counts for a Middle Eastern book for the subcontinent of India. That this is a fantasy world based on India. Cool. I just got my hands on this book, so hey. How many pages? 372 pages. Yikes. Okay, roll number 3 of 12. Stop being 6. Stop giving me choices. 4? Okay, so we're gonna stay right on 4 where we are. And what do you got? Is that 9? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Literally moved 1 space. We're gonna go with this one. Multiple deaths. I'm anticipating this will have multiple deaths because it's a zombie book, and that is Anna and the Apocalypse by Catherine Turner with Barry Waldo. And this is a story of a girl who is dealing with a zombie apocalypse. Let's see here. Anna Shepard is a straight-A student with a lot going on under the surface. She's struggling with her mom's death, total friend drama, and the fallout from wasting her time on a very attractive boy. She's looking forward to skipping town after graduation, but then a zombie apocalypse majorly disrupts the holiday season. It's going to be very hard to graduate from high school without a brain. To save the day, Anna, her friends, and her frenemies will have to journey straight to the heart of one of the most dangerous places ever known, a place famous for its horror, terror, and pain. High school. There is a movie for this, but I think the movie came out. It says inspired by the major motion picture, so this is one where movie becomes book. So I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what's going into it. But I am assuming with a zombie apocalypse, we will have multiple deaths of characters. Let's see if I'm wrong. And also, it was on the short bookshelf. This baby is 264 pages, so okay. I'm just getting more and more worried the further we roll on this. Roll number 4! Okay. 4. Did I roll a 4 again? I rolled a 4 again! I'm gonna use my reroll. I am using my reroll. I want to move to a different shelf. Probably just wasted my reroll, but whatever. 3! Okay, we're going up. So we're going up to this baby right here. I really need a better ladder. What did I get? Is that also a 3? 3! 1, 2, 3. Friend and family pick. Friend or family pick. All right. Let's call somebody. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
So I'm filming my March TBR.
Okay.
And I landed on a friend/family pick. And I've chosen you.
No.
So you get to pick a book that I have to put on my TBR. I would like to let you know I rolled 12 for how many books I have to read.
Damn.
Yeah. This is roll number 4 right now.
Okay.
So do you have a book in mind that you would like me to read? You can be really mean or you can be really nice.
Am I gonna have like what, 800 to pick from?
I mean, you can do any book. I might have to acquire said book.
I wouldn't do that to you. I was thinking about My Winged Chair the other day.
Oh, okay. My Winged Chair.
I thought of a book.
You did think of a book that I own. Granted, it's not by any means small, but
Yeah.
it's like 400 pages.
I did that to myself this year because I was trying to read 100 books this year, and going to school and working makes that not happen. And all the books I've read so far have been like 500 pages.
Yeah. I was about to start Eye of the World as audiobook. I am canceling that, and we're going to save that for later. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Everybody say hi and bye to Lena.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So Lena has chosen an indie release, which is By Winged Chair by Kendra Merritt. And this is a kind of fairy tale retelling, but the twist is there are disability representation because the author herself is in a wheelchair. Rolling around in the worst fashion accessory ever, 17-year-old Mary has mucked up another chance to get into the University of Magecraft, so she doesn't have time to deal with shape-changing creatures bent on stealing memories from the people of Woodshire. That's her father's job, but when an outlaw mage mistakes her for a damsel in distress on a drenched train platform, she's dragged into a fight with the monsters and a sheriff mad enough to use them. She'd never admit it out loud, but the mage is actually kind of fun to work with when she doesn't want to run him over with her chair. And he's exactly the ally she needs when the monsters go after her father's memories. But with bad guys who can look like friends and friends who look like outlaws, Mary has to decide who to trust and whether returning the stolen memories of those she cares about most is worth giving up her chance to finally earn respect as a mage. I think she said this was like a Robin Hood-esque retelling, but not quite entirely sure. But that is the book that Lena has chosen. It is about exactly 400 pages, and we need to add a sticker. These little babies are our trackers, so our little scorecard here. And we've already now hit the friend and family. We've hit no other icons, just this one twice already. And if I hit it a third time, we roll the Wheel of Punishment. Let's not. I should have saved my reroll. I should have saved my reroll. Roll number 5. 1. Go all the way up to 1. Puts us up on this little baby right there. What did I get? Is that 11 again? 11. Let's see where that lands us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another card. Pick this one. Wow. Ooh, another little sticker. A steampunk. I apparently only have one steampunk book left on my shelves. Whoa boy. No wonder it gets a sticker. The book we have chosen is a book I've owned for a while by China Mieville, and that is Unlun Dun. This is a weird book. I honestly couldn't tell you anything about it, but apparently it is classified as steampunk, and that is this. What is Unlun Dun? It is London through the looking glass, an urban wonderland of strange delights where all the lost and broken things of London end up, and some of its lost and broken people, too, including Broken Ball, boss of the Broken Umbrellas, Obadiah Fing, a tailor whose head is an enormous pincushion, and an empty milk carton called Curdle. Unlun Dun is a place where words are alive. A jungle lurks behind the door of an ordinary house, carnivorous giraffes stalk the streets, and a dark cloud dreams of burning the world. It is a city awaiting its hero, whose coming was prophesied long ago, set down for all time in the pages of a talking book. When 12-year-old Zana and her friend Diva find a secret entrance leading out of London and into this strange city, it seems the ancient prophecy is coming true at last. But then things begin to go shockingly wrong. So it's not traditional steampunk, but that is what it classified it as. Goodreads. It's a big book. It's big. I don't think I have an audiobook for it. We have about 432 pages. 429, and then there's a glossary. Doing so good on my small books challenge. I am gonna get a punishment next month. I can guarantee you that. Big yikes. Big yikes. Okay, what is that? Roll number 6, the halfway mark. 4. Back down to 4, which is fine. 4. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. We're back on the little orange book. The stack. We're gonna go with this one. Trash. We've got a trash read. Oh, what's my trashiest read of trashy times? Who's gonna be a trash read? I don't know. See, by definition of trash read, it's not that like the book isn't well written or anything. It's just that it's like the selection. You know what though? You know what though? You know what though? We're gonna put boyfriend material in it by Alexis Hall because I have this book ready to go in my Libby app, and this is most trash reads end up being heavy on the romance, and this is trope filled galore. We have like a fake dating situation. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. This is gonna be my trash read. I'm gonna say this is probably going to hit the spot of one of those books that like, it's not literary in any way, but it serves the purpose to warm the cockles of my heart. We're gonna go with boyfriend material. Again, not a small book. This is 425 pages long, but yeah. Wanted, one fake boyfriend, practically perfect in every way. Luke O'Donnell is tangentially and reluctantly famous. His rock star parents split when he was young, and the father he's never met spent the next 20 years cruising in and out of rehab. Now that his dad's making a comeback, Luke's back in the public eye, and one compromising photo is enough to ruin everything. To clean up his image, Luke has to find a nice, normal relationship, and Oliver Blackwood is as nice and normal as they come. He's a barrister and an ethical vegetarian, and he's never inspired a moment of scandal in his life. In other words, perfect boyfriend material. Unfortunately, apart from being gay, single, and really in need of a date for a big event, Luke and Oliver have nothing in common. So they strike a deal to be publicity-friendly fake boyfriends until the dust has settled. Then they can go their separate ways and pretend it never happened. But the thing about fake dating is that it can feel a lot like real dating. And that's when you get used to someone. Start falling for them, don't ever want to let them go. Boyfriend material. I suppose I could have done that too, but this is already in my Libby app, so we're going with that. Roll number 7. Let's go. 1, right back up again. Right to the very beginning. Let's start at the very beginning. I'll go home. And we are rolling. 9 again. Let's just keep rolling the same things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is a seasonal read, and we also hit the marker. I'm going to quickly take one of these. So, for a seasonal read, it's March, so I could do another winter read, or we can begin spring. Could be either. Let's take a look at the books. Small one. Oh, you know what? Ha! You know what I will do? Save myself. The majority of March is still in winter. Okay, we don't get spring until the 21st, and if you're in Colorado, you know that spring doesn't happen until like June. We're gonna go with This Winter by Alice Oseman, and this is a tiny little baby novella about Nick and Charlie from Heartstopper. Wow, it's even tinier. It like leads into Solitaire, so the actual book itself is only 102 pages. The rest of this is Solitaire, which I've already read, and this is it. So ha ha ha! This winter has been a tough one for Tori, Charlie, and Oliver Spring. They are all trying to get through Christmas Day with minimum drama. For Oliver, that means Mario Kart with his brother and sister. But for Tori and Charlie, it means putting the past few months behind them. Will this Christmas drive the Spring family apart or start to put them back together? There's my seasonal read, suckers. Yeah, tiny baby book. Roll number 8. Oh dear Lord. 6, I get a pick. Where have we not landed? I haven't been on 2 or 5. I'm scared to land on 2. I'm gonna go to 5. So that puts us down here. We do risk, I mean, either one, I risk going to TBR bag, which is very dangerous right now. 6. Oh boy. Oh God. No, I don't think we're gonna hit TBR bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. Maybe just the very top card. Boom. Superheroes. Perfect. Sort of. I can continue a series, and that is Swarm by Scott Westerfeld. This deals with superheroes. So with Swarm, this is kind of unconventional superheroes who have they're very dramatic, and it's kind of a darker, grittier superhero story that I started last year and I didn't get to continue, but here is what Swarm leads us off as. They thought they'd already faced their toughest fight, but there's no relaxing for the reunited Zeros. These 6 teens with unique abilities have taken on bank robbers, drug dealers, and mobsters. Now they're trying to lie low so they can get their new illegal nightclub off the ground. But the quiet doesn't last long when 2 strangers come to town, bringing with them a whole different kind of crowd-based chaos. And hot on their tails is a power even more dangerous and sinister. Up against these new enemies, every Zero is under threat. Mob is crippled by the killing crowd buzz. Is she really evil at her core? Flicker is forced to watch the worst things a crowd can do. Crash's conscience and her heart get a workout. Anon and Scam must both put family loyalties on the line for the sake of survival, and Bellwether's glorious leader Mojo deserts him. Who's left to lead the Zeros into battle against a new murderous army? So this is book 2 in the trilogy. We'll see if we continue to enjoy this series. Roll number 9 now. Okay. And I haven't put a classic on here yet, nor the indie. Shit. Which means I could read 14 books in March. I just realized that. Really need to put them on. 2? Oh god, we go up to 2. Danger. Danger. Let's roll for this one. 3. Oh no. 1, 2, 3. It's the TBR bag. The 1 month I don't want to get TBR bag, I get TBR bag. Which means I have to also put a sticker. Uh-oh. Please be a classic. Please be a classic. Please be a classic. I never thought I would say that. Purple. Which is, Fee always thinks is a good omen. Okay, I'm not mad about it, but I'm kind of mad. We are going to complete a duology, maybe sort of kind of. When Night Breaks by Janella Angelis, which is the sequel to Where Dreams Descend. And this is a special Owl Crate edition. Owl Crate did this? Sure, why not? Read the first book. I enjoyed it. It took a bit to get into, but I did really like it. I am curious to see where the story will end up, but there it is. I can't even tell you what it's fully about because it doesn't have the synopsis. It just says the competition is over, but the show has only just begun. Because it was about, the first book was about a bunch of magicians competing in this show, and women weren't allowed to do it, and so she did it anyway and knocked their socks off. But then also at the end, something drastic happens. But here we go. Very shiny, pretty book. Not a small one. 466 pages. Yep. Roll number 10. Oh, I curse myself. I should have made a D8 the thing. 6, I get to choose. Okay, let's go to 1. Okay, and what is that? 2? We move 2 spaces, which is safe. 1, 2, just on the happy book. Here we go. Wha-bam! A Shakespeare retelling. A Shakespeare retelling. Well, don't mind if I do. I've made my decision. It will be Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills, which is a Midsummer Night retelling. Midsummer Night's Dream retelling from Shakespeare. So, let's see what we got here. 1 year will change everything. When Claudia accidentally eavesdrops on the epic breakup of Paige and Iris, the it couple at her school, she finds herself in hot water with prickly, difficult Iris. Thrown together against their will into a class production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, along with the goofiest, cutest boy Claudia has ever known, Iris and Claudia are in for an eye-opening senior year. Smart, funny, and thoroughly wonderfully flawed, Claudia navigates a world of intense friendships and tentative romance in this book about expanding your horizons, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and accepting and loving people for who they really are. Foolish Hearts. It's not incredibly big. 312 pages for this one. It's between this and The Taming of the Shrew, because Taming of the Shrew is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. Not my absolute favorite, that's Much Ado About Nothing, but I've already read that retelling. All right, are we on roll number 11 now? Roll number 11, we've got 2 more to do. Give me something good. I said something good, not a dangerous shelf. To 2. Danger shelf. 3. Oh no. Oh, thank God. No, I got real scared there. We go 1, 2, 3. Almost got the unhaul. Almost got the unhaul. Here. Wow. Shiny! Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do for this. Except, well, it's fine. It's a big book, but it's going to drop in my Libby app really soon. And that's Gilded by Marissa Meyer. It's one of the shiniest books I own. I think it might be the shiniest book that I own. It's all gilded, obviously. It is signed by Marissa Meyer. This is her new beginning of a duology, and I also can't tell you the synopsis because this is a fancy cover like this that doesn't have the synopsis printed on it, but I don't care because it's Marissa Meyer and I love her. Gilded! It's big though. Shit. It's a 500, isn't it? It's exactly 500 pages long. But it's very shiny. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. I guess you'll have to find out what it is about during the March reading vlog, because it's going to drop in my Libby app within the next, like, week or so. I'm anticipating that. It says an estimated 2 weeks, but it's going to be faster. Yikes. Final roll. Thanks for sticking around this long if you have, but we are finally on the last roll. Yikes. All right. 6, I get to choose. Well, I definitely don't want to go to 3, because that's where I'm most in danger. Let's go to 4. Let's wind up down here on 4. That's safe. All right, the final roll is 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just on the nice little blue book. No hitting of anything. This would have been a read in a day, which would have been fine if it's like this winter. But we get one final card pull. Let's do it. We're gonna pull, oh god, too much. Let's go to the top half. Here. Well, bam! No RSTLNE. Okay. This was one of the most difficult things I have ever done. Yikes. I'm not including the in the title because this is The Wood, and wood works. This is by Chelsea Bobulski. It's also not that big. It's a thriller. It's 313 pages long. This is what it's about. Beware the wood. Winter didn't ask to be the guardian of the wood, but when her dad inexplicably vanishes, she's the one who must protect travelers who accidentally slip through its portals. The wood is poisoned, changing into something more sinister. Once brightly colored leaves are now bubbling inky black. Vicious creatures that live in the shadows are becoming bolder, torturing lost travelers. Winter must then put her trust in Henry, a young man from 18th century England who knows more than he should about the wood, in order to find the truth and maybe those they've lost. This is kind of paranormal stuffy stuff here. But yes, The Wood. I almost unhauled this book. That was the last chance. But dear God, I have to... Okay, so I have my indie book on top of that, which is probably going to be Beastly by Ginny Noble. And we need to pick a classic. So let's go to the classic bag. Oh, I dropped it. The book we're choosing. Not bad. I'm not mad about it. It's Peter Pan, okay? Peter Pan we can do. Peter Pan. This is the fancy Harper design. I forget what the Minalima, the Minalima design book. So it's got little interactive stuff in it, but it's not exactly the smallest book, but it is adorable. And how many pages does that count as? That 250. It's 250 pages, so I'm not too mad about this. That's our classic. So we have 14 books. I have to really stick to this TBR. I don't even know how many of these are audiobooks. I know Gilded will be. I think When Night Breaks, Swarm is, Boyfriend Material is, The Project is, the rest? I don't know. I'm going to be reading a shit ton this month or I'm going to fail. So let's hope for the best. I don't have high hopes. And I didn't pick any 22 of 2022. which is not great. But I have read a lot of 2022 in the past 2 months, so that's fine. Okay, I need to end this video. It's very long. I'm so sorry, everyone. Thanks for sticking around this long. If you have questions or comments, put them down below or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And check me out on Ko-fi if you want to support me as a content creator and support my caffeine that I will need to get through all of these books. You can do that there. You can also follow me on Twitch. I stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sundays. Thursdays we do games. Fridays we write. Saturdays we do productivity stuff like reading. And Sundays are shenanigan time, also when we talk about the indie books that we're reading in the month. So come join me over there, and I will see you next time, cuties. Bye! Look down to the wheel of rewards. Don't look in my closet. This is gonna be a long TBR video. The majority of month. I'm in danger. Can I even hold this stack? That's the question. I'm gonna need to back everyone the fuck up. Holy crap. Oh, Lord, that's a workout. Okay, done with that workout for the day.